Hey, this is Rocket Brain Surgeon. Today we're looking at the T-150. We're following Garbad around. He wrote a review on the tank. Links in the comments. Go check it out. This is a Tier 6 Russian heavy tank, characterized by solid mobility, a pretty good gun for its tier, workable armor for the most part, but it commits one severe crime. It's not a KV-1S. There's a couple of KV-1Ss in front of Garbad, and they're making his life difficult. He's going to use auto-aim and premium ammunition to pop out, get a snapshot, and then reverse back into cover before the KV-1S can return fire. And the reason why is because the KV-1S has 390 alpha, and the T-150 only has 300 alpha. Since they both have roughly the same amount of hit points, that would mean Garbad would die first if they just traded shots. The KV-1S also has more mobility and roughly as effective armor. It's going to be effective against about 150 penetration guns or less, especially when angled, but around 200 penetration, everything pretty much goes through either tank. Now, why am I talking so much about the KV-1S? It's just so dominant at Tier 6 right now. It's hard not to talk about it. It's slated to get nerfed in the near future. We're not quite sure when that is, but everyone has said that it will happen. As you can see, the fire control for the T-150 is not that great. The reticle blooms up pretty large when the tank traverses, and the aim time is not incredible as well. Garbad had an interesting opinion in which he said he thinks the 107 is actually the best gun in tier, and his reasoning is because the KV-1S gives up a lot of damage per minute and fire control to get that extra 90 alpha. He also makes the case that the hit point levels of your opposition make the 390 alpha very awkward. The T-150 has 880 hit points, the KV-1S has 810 hit points. With average rolls, 2 shots from the KV-1S, the 122, is not going to kill an opposing heavy, whereas 3 shots in that same time period from the 107 definitely will kill an opposing heavy. And the Tier 5 tanks typically have about a little over 400 hit points. Unless the KV-1S rolls high, they're not going to one-shot the tanks, so they're going to need 2 shots on average. And in that case, where you need 2 shots, the 107 is just going to perform better. Totally see that point, totally agree with it. I think it's personal preference either way, and it's close either way. My counterpoint to that would be just the general nature of alpha. The guy with the bigger alpha is determining the engagement. The guy with the bigger alpha is not popping out before he's reloaded, making damage per minute difficult to use. But when you get in a situation like this, where the KV-1S fired, the T-150 is absolutely able to abuse the long reload time of the KV-1S. He's going to be able to sneak in 2 shots to the KV-1S's 1. That means an average damage of 600 while only taking 400 in return. That's a pretty good deal. So with the enemy KV-1S at below 600, Garbad knows he can eat a shot, sneak in 2 shots before the KV-1S is reloaded, and be able to kill him. Looking more at the game situation, it's now a relatively even endgame, and the tanks for both sides are spread out all over the place. One of the big differences between the sides is the enemy team has slightly more mobile tanks than the green team. So Garbad is actually going to make his way to the cap and try to defend there. A couple of tanks were spotted on ice road towards the green cap, so him trying to go towards the red cap in this tank is not going to be great, as he will not reach the red cap in time to make a difference. However, he could reach the green cap in time to make a difference. And it's a good thing he chose to go back to the green cap. The Nashorn that was defending got overwhelmed, and so now he has the difficulty of trying not to get one shot while he defends the cap zone. Again, he's using that auto-aim with premium ammo to minimize exposure time, and he's trying to use the hill near him to hide the lower plate, just exposing the tough turret. you're going to notice that while he's had some success against the tanks in front of him, he's not incredibly eager to engage them, as the green team only has 2 tanks on cap, and there are actually 3 tanks in front of him, the KV-1, that late Wolverine, and the VK. Those tanks, if he would have made a wrong move, could have killed him and outcapped the green team. It's also possible that Lone Scout could pull a surprising reset on the green team's cappers at the red base. There's really no reason to rush it here, so he just continues to display that calm and confident technique to bring home the win. Not only that, but he killed 2 KV-1Ss in the game, one in a direct face-to-face engagement. Maybe the T-150's not so bad after all. Hope you enjoyed. Happy hunting.